All right, welcome everyone. If you're a new field engineer or technician joining us here at the Saudi Electricity Company, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking the official SEC safety manual and, well, we're bringing it to life. We're turning it into a real, practical field guide that you can actually use out on site. Huge shout out to Supervisor Abdullah Al-Jaddah for putting this incredibly structured approach together. Seriously, mastering this permit cycle is literally what's going to keep you and your crew safe out there. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the roadmap for today. We'll be running through the basic rules of work permits, field prep and excavation, lifting and installation, the LOTO isolation system, testing and energization, and finally, safe exit and permit closure. Think of this as your complete master plan. We're going on a journey today, following the exact story you'll live out in the field, from standing on an empty dirt lot to actually lighting up a subscriber's home.
Section 1. Basic Rules of Work Permits. Honestly, before your boots even hit the dirt on any site, you've got to understand the absolute DNA of our safety system, which is, of course, the permits.
So here is the absolute, most crucial thing you need to grasp, the mother and child concept. It's kind of like a safety umbrella. A primary permit, like your LOA or PTW, establishes your main safe zone. That's the mother. A secondary permit, say for excavation or lifting, is a child. And here's the golden rule. That child relies entirely on the life support of the mother permit to be valid. There is simply no way a child permit can ever operate out there on its own. It just doesn't happen.
And this slide perfectly lays out the sequence of our field story today. From limit of access all the way down to sanction for testing, it is a strict, linear progression. You absolutely cannot jump ahead or skip around. Skipping a step? Yeah, that isn't just some minor paperwork error. It's a direct, serious violation of life-saving rules. We do this in order, every single time.
Moving on to Section 2, Field Preparation and Excavation. Let's actually head out to the site and see how this whole process builds from the ground up, starting with those very first footprints in the sand.
Okay, picture this. You've just pulled up to a totally empty site. Your very first move? Securing that LOA, the Limit of Access Permit. This ensures your team is operating in the correct, officially secure geographical box. This is your very first mother permit, right? It clearly defines exactly where it's safe to walk and where those hidden cable routes are. Usually, this one is good for up to 30 days. Next up, you're ready to physically break ground. For that, you need the EXC, the excavation permit. This is our first chow permit, and it strictly demands underground service sketches. Plus, if you're digging deeper than 1.5 meters, you absolutely must have a proper shoring system in place. You can't just guess what's hiding under the soil, you know? You gotta have the official layout right there in your hands. So what does this all mean in reality? Let's play a little game of what if. What if you ignore the sequence and just start digging without that mother LOA permit? Well, let me give you a real-life field perspective. You are putting your team at massive risk of striking a live, unmapped underground cable. That is a catastrophic, totally preventable hazard. This is exactly why the child permit always needs the mother's protection. Section 3. Lifting and electrical installation. All right, the trenches are safely dug. Now we're shifting gears, bringing in the heavy machinery and getting ready to make those actual electrical connections.
Before you even think about giving the green light for that crane to drop a massive transformer into the trench, you've got to lock down the LOP, the Lifting Operating Permit. This child permit is absolutely crucial. It verifies that your crane operator actually knows what they're doing and, just as importantly, that the ground beneath the crane is completely solid and stable. We need to make absolutely sure that swinging thousands of kilos around isn't going to collapse your trench walls.
Now look at how things change here with the PTW, the permit to work. This shifts our entire focus from civil construction work over to the core electrical stuff. Because of that shift, the PTW steps in as the brand new mother permit for this specific phase. The heavy digging is over, now we're actually touching the system that's going to carry the power. Let's do another what if, right? Imagine a crane is operating under a valid LOP, but suddenly the mother PTW expires. What happens? Well, if the mother dies, all the child permits instantly die with it. Operating that crane becomes immediately unauthorized and, frankly, incredibly dangerous. It really doesn't matter if the operator is sitting there ready to go. No primary permit means all site work freezes immediately. No exceptions.
Section 4, LOTO Isolation System. Okay, with the electrical connections actually happening now, we have to bring in the ultimate safety checkpoint, the lockout/tagout, or LOTO system.
I love this system because it's just so brilliantly visual and foolproof. It uses these specific color-coded locks to assign absolute responsibility. Red is strictly for the issuer, yellow is for the receiver, and blue, that's for the competent worker. These little colored locks aren't just hardware. They are literal, physical guarantees of your life safety on that site.
Check out this authorization matrix. It perfectly maps out exactly who is authorized to do what. Notice how the issuer, holding that red lock, controls the big picture, the main LOA and PTW authorizations. Meanwhile, the receiver, with a yellow lock, takes direct custody during the actual hands-on work phase. Everyone on site has a highly specific, totally unbreachable role in this isolation process.
Section 5. Testing and Energization. All right, the cables are laid, the transformers are in place, the connections are tight, we are right on the finish line, almost ready to light up that subscriber's home.
But hold up, as field engineers, we know we don't just blindly flip the switch, right? First, we have to open an SFT, a sanction for testing. This lets us safely test the network and the meters to guarantee every single thing is flawlessly connected. We get this tight 24-hour window to hunt down and catch any tiny faults before we let the main power flow through those lines.
Section 6. Safe Exit and Permit Closure. Okay, the tests are greenlit, the lights are officially on, but listen to me closely. Our job is not done until the site is completely secured and every single piece of paperwork is meticulously closed out.
The absolute golden rule for a safe exit is doing everything in reverse order. You've got to close out those child permits first, the XEX, the LOP, all of them, and physically restore the site before you even touch the mother permits. That means you are backfilling those trenches and pulling out the extra earthing first. You are guaranteeing that absolutely zero hazards are left behind for the public or the next crew.
So, I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Why exactly must the very first permit we opened be the absolute last one closed? Well, because that LOA is your ultimate safety net. If you yank it away before every other task is signed off and the ground is fully restored, you're leaving a massive, potentially fatal gap in your safety armor. Always, always protect the sequence, and I promise you, the sequence will protect you. A huge thank you again to Supervisor Abdullah Al-Jadas for mapping out this incredible field guide. If you've got questions, shoot him an email at the address on screen. Stay sharp out there and stay safe.